Good evening. Welcome to the Wednesday edition of the Manchester United Agenda. Good evening. It's me, your host for the day, Mr. B, along with Rise, Amy down the bottom right there, and your name's gone again.
Nathan.
It's all right, you'll get used to it. My memory is terrible. I am so sorry.
It's okay.
I am so sorry. How we been? Enjoying the sunshine, everybody?
Good, yeah.
Yeah.
Be better if we weren't in work and actually enjoying it, but
Exactly. Enjoy it as much as possible when we're out of work.
I got
you. It's funny because when I get in the car, like aircon's on, and you're like, yeah, it's not. And it's not until you step out of the car where you go, whoa, oh shit, that's like, you know what I mean? Proper up. But I love it, man. I just love it. I know it's sticky in the house and all the rest of it, but I just like, regular quick cool showers or cold water from the tap and then on my head, let it just drip all the way down me. Happy days. And then stand in front of the fan. It's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Feels absolutely wonderbar.
I'm not saying nothing. I don't know where this conversation is going, but let's drift on to what we're here for. We've been linked with Saul Niguez, 26-year-old Spaniard, plays for Atletico Madrid, been there 3 years, plays CDM. Maisie, talk to me.
In terms of the transfer, I feel like maybe it could be a good move, but I'm always quite wary of buying players from different leagues, especially the Spanish league or Italian league. Because when you look at players like Di Maria, you just feel like, wow, and you just don't want that kind of experience to happen again, especially when you're spending so much money on a player. If he's young and he only costs 10-15 million, you just think that's okay. But when you spend 20, a bit more than that, you just get that bit more scared, don't you, to think this player really needs to succeed for us, especially when we're lacking in that role too.
Rise?
Yeah, I mean, I can see where Mason's coming from there, but I mean, this player is absolutely he's top class. I mean, he does everything that we need him to do as a DM. Protects the ball. He's got pace. He likes to carry the ball forward. Skillful. He can score goals. He looks really super confident. And he can play. He don't just play DM. He can also play a bit more advanced if needed. But I would obviously think that if we were going to do a deal with this guy, then he's obviously going to be the number 6 for us. And I think he's more than capable of fitting in that role for us. No doubt about it.
Amy.
yeah, I mean, he is a good technical player. He's a very good player, but I kind of agree with Maisie as well. It's hard to know when you're bringing in players from other leagues and you're bringing them into the Premier League, especially. Everyone knows how hard the Premier League is to adapt to. But I think there were talks that if we were to buy him, he's going to be more Pogba's replacement more than anything, and I don't think it's enough to replace Pogba, in my opinion. But look, I'm not sure how much I want to invest my time in this transfer, because I'm kind of a bit weary about it, considering Barcelona and Liverpool are both in the talks as well. So whether United are just thrown in there so Atletico can get a bit extra money, I don't know, but I don't want to invest too much in this transfer because we all know how things happened in the past. So by all means, it would be a great signing for us, but I don't think he'd be a defensive midfielder with us, unfortunately. I think he would be Pogba's replacement. Where that leaves Donny van de Beek, I don't know, but Yeah, that's my opinion on
I
it.
don't see him. I don't see him. He's not a replacement for Pogba. There's no way. He's not. He ain't that. He ain't all that in that position. Like I said, he can carry the ball forward and he can score goals. But in terms of the creative side, the things that Pogba can do, he ain't got that in his locker. I don't think so. It's an interesting one, and like you say there, are we sort of just like inflating the price to help Atletico Madrid out? I don't know. I think if there's real sort of cast iron rumours, proven by someone like Romano or others, then, and also the fact that the interest from PSG for Paul Pogba, but we're looking at 50 million.
50 million.
All right. Look, like I've always said, if he, I think it's time for him to move on. That's my personal opinion. However, especially if his heart isn't set at the club, these are the conversations that Ollie must be having with him. Is your heart set at this club? And if not, then obviously we've got to let him go. If you have to take a loss, we've got to let him go. Take the money, invest it, then move on. I said this weeks ago. Ollie has to take responsibility of this situation and make a decision himself and go, no, this is what's happening. I think if on the other hand, if Pogba does make it quite clear that he wants to stay and he loves the club and all that, then it's a different. Then we've got a different problem, haven't we? So
this happens every summer though with Pogba, doesn't it? All these talks come up Pogba every summer, and he always ends up staying anyway. But I think it's more inflated this time because his contract is up next summer. So it's like, is he signing a new contract or is he going on a free? So I think that's why it's more inflated this summer, and there's kind of loads of question marks beside it, and we're getting nothing from Pogba either, or the club. We don't know what's going to be what. So yeah, it's hard to know with Pogba, but it is something that does come up every summer. So I'm kind of hoping he does stay, to be honest. But because over the last few months he has kind of proven that he does want to play for the club. He seems happier under Ollie anyway than what he was. Obviously, everyone's happier than what they were under Josie anyway. But over the last few months, he definitely looks happier. So I'm kind of hoping he signs that new contract, to be honest.
Are you? I mean, that comment by Big Phil. If you go back to that, Mr. B. I mean, it's quite interesting because this is what I was getting at. Is no, not that one. The one before. Yeah. So this is what I was getting at, because like I said, he can play central, but he ain't no replacement for Pogba. But you put Saul Niguez behind Pogba if Pogba stays, alongside Bruno as well. If that's up, then shit. With Varane at the back alongside Maguire, Luke Shaw and Wan-Bissaka, or if we do look at Trippier, I don't know if that's going to happen, to be honest with you. But even I'm not too bothered if it doesn't, if I'm honest with you. I think new faces like the likes of Varane, Jadon Sancho, and then someone like Saul Niguez. If that's not enough to sort of get your juices going, as a player, you're like, come on, let's have it. You know what I mean? Then there's something wrong, isn't there? So it's exciting.
I mean, my thoughts. I mean, we actually play with two. But they're supposed to be CDMs in Fred and McTominay, but they're box to box. So I'm thinking, well, if Saul Niguez comes in and can play, he's a better player than both of them. So do we necessarily need the CDM, or do we need an upgrade on the central midfielder we've got? I'm thinking about it as Pogba not going anywhere. Regardless, this is just me being me. I'm thinking it's a player to play, as I said, like, we're saying, behind to make that a complete team. That's more where I'm thinking about it. I mean, the thing is as well, he's only started 22 games this season for Atletico. The other couple of seasons he's been playing over 30. So obviously there's an issue there. He signed his contract. When did they buy him? 2018 on a 9-year deal. 9 years. Wow. So he's ready to go. His buyout's 130 million, but those aren't the prices that obviously we've been quoted at. I'm hearing, you're looking at 50, 45, 50 million now. If that's the case and it can be done, then yeah, great. But I think the problem that Man United normally have is when there's no competition, we're pretty good at taking long with the deal, and when we do have competition, we always lose out. So if it is Barcelona and Liverpool involved, as much as we say, you know, they get their, especially Liverpool, they get deals done. So I think that's more of the issue. They could be using us as the normal Manchester United, you know, boost up the price, get the deal done quickly sort of thing. So I don't know.
Well, you know what? We know that we need if they are trying to convince or trying to do a deal to keep Pogba at the club, they have got to invest in that position behind him, because we know that he won't do what we want him to do in that position, because it's not really suited to him. So if we're going to release Pogba to be the best he can be, then we have to get that player in behind him who Pogba can look at and go, you know what? Now all Pogba's thinking about is playing forward and creating, you know, holding the ball up, you know, doing what he's good at, looking for them like really sharp passes. You know, those sharp passes that just come out of nowhere and bang. You know, this is what we want to see from Paul Pogba. So if he's got that kind of sort of backup behind him, it's such a free. You know, we're just going to free Paul Pogba up, and he's going to be. We know he can be very, very dangerous. So if this all works out and they come out and tell me, right, we've sold. We've bought Varane, we've bought Sancho, we've bought Saul. We're keeping Pogba. Saul's going to play behind him at the number 6. We're going to go to a 4-1. It'll be a 4-1-2-3. Will it? When you set it up, when they start.
Yeah.
So you know that I'm feeling like a kid on Christmas Eve, mate. You know what I mean? I'm getting butterflies at that thought, mate. Because let me tell you this: going forward, we are going to be very dangerous indeed.
If you look back to last season as well, and you look at every goal Pogba scored, they were all bangers. And I feel like we will see a lot more of that from him as well if we have someone behind him and Pogba can free up a little bit. And same with Bruno. Like it's if we're set on Varane coming in now, it's the midfield we need to fix now, because that's 2 out of 3 signings that we needed. So it's definitely defensive midfielder that we need to bring in. Pogba and Bruno are freed up. I think we'll score so many more goals, and our creativity will be a lot better as well, because Pogba doesn't have to help out and Bruno doesn't have to drop so deep as well. So definitely defensive midfielder is definitely a plus.
Imagine alongside that, you've got, you know, if Martial's on the left and you've got Jadon Sancho on the right, linking up. I mean, shit. This is like, you know, this is the stuff we've been waiting like 8 years for. It's like, finally, you know, I think that this is, if these deals happen, I mean, the fan base, whether you're Ollie in or Ollie out, people have to take their hat off to Ollie and go, you know what, well done, you know, and it's because that is a real combination of great players for this. And also, I just wanted to touch on the formation rumours. Now, like I'm saying, it could be a 4-1-2-3, but again, people are saying that Ollie's maybe going to try and look at maybe doing a different sort of formation, 4-3-3. Now,
that's what he was doing when he came in first, and they were playing really well.
But that could work as well, because if you think about it, you know, you'd have Saul at number. You'd have Saul in the middle, who drops back, obviously. Pogba on the left, and you'd put Bruno on the right. That's how it is. That's the only way it can work for me, because I think Pogba, we all know that's his best position. And then if he's then linking up with like Martial, and then Bruno's linking up with Sancho, you know, wow. And then who's central? Cavani. Oh, I forgot about Cavani. I'm sorry, Cavani. How can I forget you, my lovely. Sorry, mate. I didn't forget you. I just didn't add you into the equation because we know your class.
I mean,
It'd be scary,
can I ask you guys a question? I'm going to go to you, obviously, but I'm going to go to you first, Maisie. Do you feel that this? I'm feeling there's a different vibe about the way that we're doing our transfer activities moving. Is it just me? Is am I wrong? Is it everybody else? What do you think?
I'm feeling the exact same way, to be honest. Like, this is the first time properly since Sir Alex Ferguson where it feels like we're actually getting on the ball with these kind of transfers. And for me, it feels like it's more because we've been protesting against the Glazers and we're saying that we don't want the Glazers here. And because the Glazers know how we're feeling currently about them owning the club, it's making feel a bit like on edge, thinking, oh, we've got to do something to gain trust of the fans, and they feel like getting the right transfers that will probably make them feel like, oh, we're actually doing something to benefit the club.
Amy? Sorry, my love.
You're grand. I mean, definitely. I think definitely bringing in. We were always shouting for a director of football anyway, but we were kind of, when Murtaugh was appointed, we were kind of a bit skeptical on it because he was already involved with the club for years, so we didn't know how it was going to pan out. But fair play to him because he's actually doing business, and we actually got Sancho done quite quickly because I was expected to go on for the whole summer after it should have been done last summer, but he actually got Sancho done quite quickly, even though it hasn't been announced yet. But it looks like we're really making progress on Varane as well, and it looks like they're really, really looking at their midfield options as well. And we haven't had this in a good few years, so it's really good to see. And to be honest, even with just Sancho and Varane, I think it's probably one of the best windows we've had in years. So yeah, I've definitely seen loads of progress in that aspect.
Rise?
Yeah, got to agree because, yeah, the things are getting done more quickly. In terms of the actual, like, the Glazers themselves, we have to remember that they're not really football men. They don't really understand. They understand business. They understand how to make a business work and pay off, even when it's in debt. So that they taking advice from people like Woodward and now Murtaugh, and others at the club. So you know what? It seems to me that they have now gone after the protests and everything. They have now, sort of had to have these conversations with people and go, yeah, wait a minute. In other words, where are we going wrong here? What do we need to do? And these changes have started happening. And things are improving. So it's obviously there's good communication going on. I see that as a positive. However, until I see sustained investment when needed, I'm still going to say, look, this is not for you, Mr. Glazer. I think you need to maybe, if you can sell the club, sell it and move on. But like I said, if there's sustained investment where it's needed and when it's needed, then it makes it easier for Murtaugh. It's when he knows he's getting the deals done. If he goes to the Glazers, if it's me, you're going to go Abraham. Yeah, look, all he needs this number 6. We need this number 6. We're looking at around sort of maybe 50 to 60 million. What's up? We need it. You've got to clear those funds for me so I can start the negotiations without me going to them and saying, oh, we'll give you 45, and they go, no, we want 60. Then you go, okay, well, I'll just go and ask my boss how much he'll let me have. No, you've got to be armed and ready so he can get the deal, get it done and look confident and not give anybody else a chance to get in between us waiting for Ed Woodward to go back to the Glazers because he's worried about asking for more money. Because at the end of the day, this is what Ed Woodward was about. He was the one who was, managing the finances of the club. So if he can impress the Glazers by saying, the Glazers, for all we know, the Glazers could have to him and said, oh, we can give you 200 million this transfer window. Oh, well, for all we know, Woodward could have gone, oh, no, don't need that much. No, we can get good business done with just 120. You know what I mean? To try and impress them, to make yourself, like, oh, look at me, I'm really great. Because it looks to me like that's what's happened. If you look at it, you go back and look at it from some of the absolute trash that we've signed, but yeah, we'll wait and see. We'll wait and see what transpires. But it's all positive.
In my opinion, to be honest, with this window, like, if obviously Sancho's over the line already, if we get Varane over the line and we get another midfielder, Ollie has no excuse. So even if Ollie does fail, there's another coach, another manager coming in who's actually going to have a strong enough squad that he'd be able to work with, which is something that we haven't had in a while either, because obviously Jose Mourinho left a mess behind him as well that Ollie's had to clear up. And we can't say that he isn't doing a good job, because he's cleared out a load of deadwood. He's bringing in good signings. Like, Ollie has no excuse, but Ollie, maybe if he doesn't progress this season and maybe bring home a trophy and isn't proven that he can be a good manager, then at least he's built something of the team so that another manager can come in and work with and maybe win trophies that way. Because to be honest, I think with these signings coming in, this team is going to be so good. Like, look at our attacking options alone are unbelievable, with Maguire and Varane together and Luke Shaw. And Wan-Bissaka's only getting better as well as seasons are going on. You never know. Like,
I just want to say, I think if you look at, when you put all the ingredients together, it's sometimes hard to come up with a different recipe. You know, the all ingredients are there really for me for Ollie to again progress again, because everything is going in the right direction, and he's the one pulling it all in that right direction. So I can't see, I really can't see how he can fail, because the momentum's there, the players are playing for him, bringing fresh blood in, really talented players who are hungry. He's, like you say, he's got rid of deadwood. He's dealt with certain situations very well. So for me, and we all know that the philosophy and the mentality is all there anyway. That's all there. Ollie understands that more than anybody. So for him, that's the easy bit for Ollie to get that into the players, and you can see that for me, it's working. So I think it's going to be highly unlikely that he will sort of fail us this term. I think he's going to actually, get us. He is going to get us over the line, and I think he will. If he goes for this 4-3-3 and gets the ingredients, the players right, then it's going to be we're going to be in for a really exciting season. No doubt about that.
I completely agree with you there. Every time I feel like we sack a manager, it feels like every single time we're in a bad situation. We've got to rebuild every single time, because when a manager gets sacked, it's like half the teams have been built, so we're half good. And then we're just left in a complete mess again, where the manager, because they've got completely different tactics to one another, they've got to rebuild based on what they feel like is the best team for United to progress. And with Jose, he left the dressing room in a bad situation, because there was like loads of stuff coming out about Pogba. I think Martial was unhappy as well. There was Shaw, he wasn't happy. There was quite a few unhappy players at the club, what Jose Mourinho has left. And then Ole come, it felt like he reunited the club in a way. He's brought in progress every single season, especially last season. I wouldn't have thought we would have gotten that top 4, the COVID one, and then when we got to last season, we got to second place. It was just absolutely incredible, and I never actually thought I would thought that we would get that close to first place. If, for example, we do go into a right shambles where we're below top 6, we're out the Champions League, out of other cups, then that's it. Ole has to go for get them right transfers, but I can't see him getting sacked, in my opinion, because we're only going to get better if we get that right transfers.
It would take a complete and utter catastrophe for that to happen, in my opinion, because, like I said, when we are in the position that we're in now, with the momentum that we've got, the trust that has been built up between him and the players and the squad, and like I say, you add these extra few signings in, that gives everybody a huge confidence boost. Gets the fire in the belly going and the hunger going, and you know what? I can't see. And I know what people say about the making subs and all that. That's an issue. We know that, but again, he's brought in the coach. We forgot to mention the new coach. Sorry, what's his name?
Is it Eric?
Which one are you talking about? The one that the England guy, Cochrane.
No, not Cochrane. The other one, the new one who's just come in, the set piece specialist.
Oh, Eric Ramsey.
Yes. Okay. So, you know what, Ole? Remember when we were talking? You might have even been on the stream, Amy, when we were talking about the coaching thing, and I said, you know what, Ole needs to identify where things are going wrong, and he needs to put it right. And what did he do? He's done it exactly that. And for me, that shows me that he's more than capable of doing this job. There's no doubt about that now. It's just a case of if he keeps learning from his mistakes that he makes from last season, especially, and going into this new season, trusting what he's got on the bench and saying, no, right, okay, I'm going to give you enough time to go out there and make an impact, you know, and making those subs when we really need them, then, you know, I think it's going to be happy days for us this coming season and going forward, because as long as Ollie succeeds, he ain't going anywhere. Simple as that.
I mean, we're on
I think
subs.
I was.
Sorry, Amy, go on. No, finish.
I think I was on a show with you before, and we were talking about the coaching aspect with Ollie, and we said he needed better coaches around him for him to improve himself.
Yeah.
Because obviously he doesn't have enough experience with coaches, but he needs experienced coaches with him to also develop his coaching skills. So I think definitely bringing in Eric Ramsey is a massive plus for us as well, because if you look back last season, a lot of our goals were conceded from set pieces and it was an absolute catastrophe. So definitely bringing in Eric Ramsey is huge, and it's showing as well that Ollie knows exactly what he needs and how he needs to improve the club.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking about improvement again. We've been linked with, obviously, we got the right winger. We've got the centre back. We've now been linked with another midfielder today, Goretzka.
Yeah.
I mean, it's strange how that one has sort of come about again, but it sounds like Bayern have a wage structure that they don't want to break. He's got a year left on his contract, and we've offered him a contract for next season. So, one, I didn't think that was legal or allowed. But what do you think on him? Isn't that 6 months? Isn't that 6 months? I know somebody's gonna say. Somebody will tell us anyway. But yeah, that he is more of a CDM, and I think that would then the fact that those are the positions that we're looking at. Full German internationals, only 26. He said he's only got a year left, but the same way we're thinking about getting these players with Paul Pogba's in the same position. You know, so it's weird that the United fans think it's going to go this way, but then Pogba's not going to leave. You know, it's what the clubs decide to do. You know, I mean, definitely go on.
Well, I mean, this is all about as well. This is all about, I said it before, attitude and application. You know, there's no point. Like
sorry. Reese is just telling us here he'd bring in Goretzka. 6 month requirement to a pre-contract. Yeah. Sorry, Rise. Sorry.
Yeah. We do. You know, we are not at the stage where we want to be. You know, having these kind of players that are sort of like, you know, like half-hearted. No. This is not what. That's not what we are about. We need players who are, you know, like chomping at the bit to get out there and play for the badge and, you know, the history of the club. So with Paul Pogba, this is what I want to know. You know, I want to know what is his real intentions, and it's no coincidence that the rumours around these other clubs. You know, and I believe Paul Pogba may want to just move on himself anyway. Right now, I think he's, you know, he may feel that he's done all he can at United at this moment in time, and he wants a new challenge himself. Which, like I say, for me, fair enough.
I mean, look, I think what we have to remember is players' loyalties in their bank balance. You know, if we offer him enough, I feel that he'll stay. But what is enough and what is too much? You know, that's more what I'm thinking. At the end of the day, I want Ollie to make a choice. Like, you know, he's going to have to make a choice with the goalkeepers. Make the choice, because at the end, once the season starts, we're all going to back him. Regardless of whether Prince Paul is here or not, we're going to back Ollie, you know. Hopefully he will get it right in regards to who he replaces, or the better option is who he plays with. And this is the problem that I've got. Are we not going to sign a midfielder if Pogba decides to stay? Which means then that we've got either Fred or McTominay playing in the centre of the park. Now, let's be honest, that is an area that we really do need replacing. So this is the problem. If he goes, it doesn't seem like we're going to be buying anybody. And if he stays, it doesn't look like he's going to be buying anybody. But then if he goes, then, you know, does that mean then that we're looking for a different type of player to play with Fred or McTominay? Or is it going to be Van der Beek playing with the person that he buys? You know, there's a lot of things that I'm not sure that how much pre-season have we got? 5? I'm not sure 5 pre-season games is going to be enough to sort that headache out.
If this doesn't happen, who do we put in? And Ollie switches to a 4-3-3. Who do we put either in the middle or the left or the right? Who's going to be the one to sit back and protect? Who plays that role for us? And
Phil Jones
in a disciplined fashion.
No.
You know, let's have it right. That Matic, if he was 10 years younger, that's it, problem solved. But he ain't.
I wish we did get him in our prime. Honestly, he would have been absolutely insane as a defensive midfielder role. I feel like we just got him far too late.
Yeah, well, we did, but you know what? That is like, again, this is the thing. Ollie, surely. Because Fred doesn't fit the role. Fred isn't going to do it. McTominay's not going to be able to do it. Donny van der Beek isn't going to be able to do it. He's not going to ask Bruno to do it. It makes no sense. Because rumours of a 4-3-3 switch, that will only happen if we get players in to fit the role. You know, to fit the roles that are needed to be filled.
I personally think, going by the last few seasons, I think it will be McTominay. I think Ollie does favour McTominay more than he does Fred, but I do think Fred maybe has more mistakes in him than McTominay does. But look, if we do get in Varane, any mistake that McTominay makes will be picked up by Varane, because I feel like with Lindelof there was more mistakes in Lindelof than there would be Varane. So
yeah,
I know it's tough to know who's going to be playing where, but I do think it's going to be McTominay playing that defensive midfielder role if we don't get anyone.
Yeah, I completely agree there. And I was reading rumours that Ruben Neves is linked to Man United now, and Bruno's supposed to have come out and said that he wants Man United to sign him, so he would be a really good opportunity to buy, especially if Pogba does go, especially knowing he's only 35 million. If we sold Pogba for like 50 million, for instance, we'd be saving money because he'd only cost 35 million, so we'd be saving 15 million.
I love the way you work things out so simply.
Yeah, you know what? I mean,
do maths on a day-to-day basis. That's just it.
If it's okay, you know, Bruno saying that he wants, you know, we've got to sign this player, we've got to sign that player. But again, you know, this is not what happens at Man United. We don't take instructions from players. You take the instructions from the manager and the coaching staff. You know, don't start adding this like public backing of a particular player and making it out like it's like, you know what, you've got to sign him and all, and as if we're gonna sort of just go, okay, then, you know, Bruno's saying it, so we're gonna go and do it. Don't work like that, and he shouldn't be saying them kind of things, in my opinion. You know, don't be, because I'll tell you something now. If Alex Ferguson was still in charge, you won't be having no one saying, go and sign him, boss, go and sign that player, go and sign that. They just get told to shut up. You shut up. You do what you're supposed to do, which is go out on that pitch and perform and do your jobs. If you don't, you know you're out.
I mean, do you think it might not have been quite like that? Maybe he probably hasn't told him. I mean, maybe he's been linked. Maybe he's asked him behind the scenes about Neves. You know, we don't know. I know probably sounds, he should shut his mouth, but you know, a lot of things happened in Ferguson's days or didn't happen in Ferguson's days that happen now. It's just the way of the world, isn't it? You know, I'll be honest, I don't care who we buy. as a CDM, I just don't want Fred or McTominay playing it. You know, I will trust Cochrane. I will trust Eric Ramsey or Ramsdale. I'm not sure what his name is. I trust Ollie. I trust the club. Just get it right. Just get it right so that we as fans do not have to put up with that. You know, if the player that you bring in is worse, the thing is with signings, you've always got that excitement, haven't you? You know, if he makes a mistake, you allow him. If McTominay or Fred make the mistake, it's, oh, God, they've done it again. Whereas if it's a new player, you're hoping that that's not going to be the whole drama, the whole situation. You know what I mean? So
this is the thing, Mr. B. The thing is if I'm not fit for the purpose of the role that I'm doing, then it's highly likely that I'm going to make mistakes. Do you know what I mean? It's highly likely I'm going to make mistakes. When you get somebody in, you know, who it's like if I was doing some DIY at home, you know, and I'm going, yeah, so I'll sort it. I can wire that cooker up, no problem. You know, and you start messing about and you go, 2 hours later, you're like catching your head going, oh shit, what have I done here? All right, I better call the electrician. The electrician comes in, laughs at you. 10 minutes later, slaps you with a bill for 150 quid. You know what I mean? It's done. Job done professionally. Thank you. Great stuff. And this is the same with our team with the football. You have to get players in who play the position. Simple as that. Can't be like trying to sort of pick and mix. You know what I mean?
I've got one here. Reese has got a one here. He's talking about Paulinho over Neves. I'll be honest, I don't know much about Paulinho. Do we have any? See, Reese, you're too educated for us, man. Come on, you know too much.
Let us know, Reese, where Paulinho.
Yeah, let us know, because I have no idea. One from Stevie Boy, he's bigging up Maisie. Oh, I was going to say big up guys, big up Maisie, and big up Amy. Come on, Steve.
What are you playing at?
Amy, please.
That's a fine.
We've got one here, another one from Reese, saying that Fred being a DM wasn't good enough.
I don't think I can watch a Mick Fred anymore. It just felt like it was an absolute pain watching him every single game. Awful. I just felt like I wanted to cry every time they made a mistake. I felt like crying when I seen Lindelof being too weak on the ball when he's trying to one-on-one defend. For me,
it was the same people all the time, wasn't it, making all the mistakes? So they were that need improvement. So.
I feel like I'm more excited to see Varane than Sancho in that Man United shirt, because it feels like we needed this centre-back for so long. And knowing that we're actually going to get one who is like a serial winner, who's won the World Cup, who's won the Champions League, who's won La Liga, it's just so exciting to see, and you just really hope that it is actually going to be true, and he's going to have a successful career at United like he's had at France and like he's had at Real Madrid as well.
Can I say something to you, Maisie? If we don't get him, he's going to break your little heart, innit?
It is. It's honestly, it's going to break my heart. And you just saying that has already breaking my heart.
I'm so sorry. You know what? I've been here so much times, and you know, I just don't want to get excited, because he will I will drive to Manchester and I'll go and see Rice. We'll go. Oh God, yeah.
I think this is the first transfer window I've actually been so invested in such a long time, because I kind of gave up over the last couple of seasons because we're linked with this person, we're signing no one. So I think this is the first window I've actually been properly invested with.
Let's hope so. Look, let's hope so. I mean, what have we got? How much days have we got till the transfer? How much days have we got to the start of the season? 26, 25? How much longer does the transfer window
that ends on the 31st of August?
31st. So we've still got a few weeks. I mean, look, Man United don't normally get nothing done for until the last couple of weeks of the season. So we are well ahead of schedule, and timing, we're on schedule.
I'm
So,
telling you, they're announcing Sancho and Varane together. That's why they're holding off on the Sancho announcement.
who
I
was
thought the
talking
exact
to you
same.
about that? You think so? Both for save what they want to save money. Just get Sancho in, get Varane in. Just make 2 different videos. We don't, just. I know a guy just to my right hand side here who will do who will do the thumbnail and everything for free. Rice, Monya.
Yep.
See, there you go. See. So yeah, let's just get these deals done. I really would just want these deals done. But Amy, where can we find you?
Yeah, you can follow me on Twitter on It's You18, and I'm also over on the weekly Armchair Sports Talk. It's going to be a lot more shows coming up to the new season, so make sure you go over there and sub to the channel.
Still doing MMA?
Yeah, I don't know when the next show is, to be honest, but yeah, they're still doing MMA shows, basketball shows, WWE shows, and football. So yeah, loads of shows over there.
Good. Don't forget, check her out and like, subscribe, and follow. Maisie, where can we find you?
You can find me on Twitter. It is at __MUFC Maze.
That it? Just that
Yeah,
one?
that's it. Just that's it.
That's fine. You know where to find her. Oh, we know where to find you, but I want you to tell us again.
Yeah, Twitter, I talk MU, and just anywhere on YouTube where they're talking about football.
King of YouTube, you are.
I'm all over the place, all over the shop.
There's a couple of other names we could call him, but we won't call him them. So we'll leave it like that. But ladies, thank you. Always appreciate it. Oh, that's absolutely fine. Anytime. Rise, again, thank you.
No worries, mate. No worries. Pleasure.
MU Agenda, peeps and peepettes, thank you. Signing out.